All right, I'm locked, I'm loaded, ready to go. I don't even think that looks straight. Oh my gosh, who cares? Hey everybody, I am here at my house hanging out, and last week I was challenged by Michael Buckner to, he's got some time off. Zach has some time off this week, and so Michael said, "Hey, you know what? Why don't you come up with your top 10 movie list?" And we've been doing a lot of lists lately, and he's like, "You know, why don't you just come up with your kind of all-time favorites?" And it's probably one of the hardest things I've had to do. It's kind of just driven me crazy. I love movies, as I'm sure you're all aware, and I mean they mean a lot to me. The stories, the characters. I just love kind of every part of filmmaking. And so when you ask me to just pick 10, it I mean challenge accepted, but I'm not happy about it. And before we start, I just want to preface that this is a list. This is my list. This is my personal list right now. I think, of course, as new movies come out, as we grow as people, and as we learn more about ourselves, the this like lists and our likes and our dislikes, they can change. I just want you to know that this list is like a living list for me, and this is just at this moment in history that you find me. This is my list right now. So here we go. All right, one more side note. Every good list has honorable mentions, and I think it's only fair that I get a few.
Se il mio sogno si avverasse.
Few movies that didn't make the cut. You got The Thing. We talked about it a little bit ago, and I know I said I would put it on the top 10, and normally I would, but when I got to thinking about it, there was just a few others I wanted to put on there. I didn't get to put Inception on there. I didn't get to put the Lord of the Rings movies on there. Psycho. Just there's just so many great movies I love that I didn't put Back to the Future on there, and that is just it. It just hurts sometimes. So I had to give a few shout outs at the beginning. I'm looking at my list. This is the most recent pick, um, and it is Jordan Peele's Us. This movie, I think a lot of people would expect something like Get Out to be on the list, but and I agree, Get Out is a superior movie. But for me, Us is just a fun, mind-bending experience that you love to watch with your friends, that you love to just talk about. When you rewatch it, you pick up new things here and there. It's filled with Easter eggs. The story is so like fun and unique, and I'm a big Twilight Zone fan, and I'm a big like weird horror sci-fi guy and sci-fi guy. This movie kind of just checked every box for me, and the acting is fantastic. The directing is incredible. The soundtrack is beautiful and scary, and it's just and it says some like real things kind of happening, not just at the moment it came out, but also now too. And it's just a movie that I think we're gonna look back in 20 years and be like, whew, that is just like peak filmmaking. And the fact that it's Jordan Peele's second movie, it just makes me even more excited for what's to come. At number 9, we have Orange County. I know Orange County's not a great movie. It's it's just fun. But for me, what I really love about it, besides it just being really funny, the cast is a lot of it's just goofy. Jack Black's character is all over the place. Colin Hanks is really great. It's got some like awesome cameos, but really what this is about for me is about like being a writer. And the whole time, Sean Brumder, he is trying to figure out like he wants to be a writer, and he knows he wants to be a writer, and he does whatever it takes to try to like get to where he thinks he should be, when really there's somewhere else that he's destined to be. And I I do a lot of writing for my job, and I've always loved writing. I've always loved telling stories, and to like I just relate to this character a lot. And it's just I love this movie, and it's directed by Jake Kasdan, who I'm gonna give you a little bit of a sneak peek at the rest of my list, that he is related to someone else who had a big hand in another one of these movies. Number 8 is Almost Famous, another movie that's uh, kind of combines my love of writing and also my love of music. I'm a big like music guy, and it just makes every time I watch it, it makes me feel good, and I just not really the same way Orange County does. Almost Famous is a lot not it's not more sad, but it is it deals with real things and it follows another writer. This kid who is writing about his like this upcoming rock and roll band. Cameron Crowe directed it, and it's just it's good. Another killer soundtrack. I know Cameron Crowe based a lot of the movie on his experience, and you could just really show like that shows like you feel that this is something personal to someone, and for it to connect with others so personally too is really neat. I love this movie. This is a movie that I never get tired of watching. Number 7 is Kill Bill. Not Kill Bill Volume 1, not Bill Volume 2, Kill Bill as a whole story. I think that's fair, and you can fight me on it, but I, I will fight you. Not really. Quentin Tarantino, there's so many good, every Quentin Tarantino movie is great. I just love Kill Bill. I think it encompasses everything about Tarantino, the homages, the violence, the just the characters and the soundtrack. It's just everything that you love in a Tarantino movie, just crammed into like 4 hours of greatness. I don't think I have to talk that much about Kill Bill. Number 6, another recent one that I knew it was gonna be on this. It is Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. This movie just knocked me out when I saw it. It was just the animation and the style, the jokes, the story, the heart. I mean, the voice acting. It was just it was a whirlwind for me. Like I remember just sitting in the theater and being like, "Oh my gosh, like this changes everything." And it's just oh my it's just like if I could use one word to describe this, it'd be radical. It's awesome, it's radical, it's tubular, and I could watch this every day, I think. Number 5 is it's the cheat, okay, guys, and you have to bear with me because I it's Star Wars. I didn't put the whole franchise on here. I didn't put the whole saga, I didn't put the whole, like, property on there, but what I did is I picked 2. I picked the 2 Star Wars movies that I love. It's Empire Strikes Back and The Last Jedi. It's the 2 middle pieces of the original, trilogy and the sequel trilogy. These movies, well, I mean, I don't really have to talk about Empire, and let's tie it back. Written by Lawrence Kasdan, the father of Jay Kasdan, who directed Orange County. So there you go. No big deal. Whatever. Just keeping it in the family. It is not only one of the greatest sci-fi movies, not only one of the greatest sequels. It is hands down one of the greatest movies ever made. It looks great. It is so much fun. It's action packed. It still gets people, that they don't know. And I'm not going to give it away if you've never seen it, but you definitely should. And then you got Last Jedi. And I know I'm going to get some hate for this, but I think Last Jedi does exactly what Empire does. It takes a story, it takes something that we know and that we're comfortable with, and it kind of flips it on its head. A lot of people will disagree, but when you go back and watch Empire, there are ideas in there that really like shake that kind of hero's journey to its core. And I think Last Jedi does the same thing. And again, and not a perfect movie, but I love it. My last 4 movies, I think, are movies that I've always had on this list. Singing in the Rain, this musical, I don't know why, but it just, as the kids say, it slaps. I think what I love about this movie the most is just the effort and that goes into it, and you can see it on the screen. You can see, the long takes with the dancing and the singing and just the dedication these people have. Gene Kelly, and it's just, oh, oh my gosh, another Star Wars connection. uh, Debbie Reynolds, mother of Carrie Fisher from Star Wars. Boom! We're keeping it all in the family. The songs are great. The camera work is fantastic. The dancing's fun. I don't like I don't care if you hate musicals. I I dare you to watch Singing in the Rain and not have a smile on your face the whole time. Another just throwback to old school Hollywood, Casablanca. I mean, I know it can be it's cliche to have this movie on there probably, but I don't care. This is I mean, I've just used so many adjectives to describe these other movies. I don't know where to go besides to say it's incredible. It's fantastic. Humphrey Bogart is Humphrey Bogart. And if you're going to argue with me about Humphrey Bogart, then no, I'm not going to let you. I'm not going to let you badmouth Humphrey Bogart. It's just iconic. It doesn't get really, for me, any bigger than Casablanca. Like, this movie is like old school Hollywood, and it's a movie that will never like be touched. This is one I don't know why. I don't know why it's on this list. I don't know why it's this high. I just love this movie, and it is 500 Days of Summer. This is a movie I was not like I didn't see it in theaters. I kind of had seen like a poster or heard about it. But then when I really sat down and watched it, man, this is another kind of like let's talk about Spider-Verse. Like this is a movie that I think when I watched it, I was just like, Keanu Reeves just whoa. It's just like a beautiful experiment in perspective. What I love about this movie is that as you grow, it starts to grow too. Like, you know, when I first saw it, you really relate. I was like, man, I really like that main character. I really like Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character. He's kind of cool, but he's nerdy and he loves good music and he's falling in love with his girl and the heartbreak. Like, how dare she? But then as the more I watch it, the more I realize I'm like, no, 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 he's not a great guy. He's not like he's not blameless in any of this. And that just that is what I love about a movie. I love that I can watch it one day, think one thing, come back to it a year later and be like, man, I I, I was blind. We have arrived at number one. And uh man, where do I even start? This movie I love this movie so much. I love the premise. I love the characters. I love kind of the secret meaning behind a lot of it. I love the directing, and I love. J- oh, you don't know what I'm talking about? We should. I'm talking about Jaws. Like this movie, it, it's a monster movie with a heart. What's so great about this movie, besides the fact that it really kind of started that trend of well, oh, if you don't show it, it's scarier. You know, the shark kept malfunctioning, and so they kind of lucked out, and they were able to create this terrifying monster that you don't see until really the end of the movie. Not only does it do that, it terrifies people. It's got so much heart to it that a lot of people I don't think talk about. It's really about. I think it's a great look at masculinity. It's a great look at what it means to be a man, to be a father. For a movie about a killer shark to then say, "No, no, 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 no. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. You get the dead bodies, you get the shark attacks, you get the scary music, but here's what it's really all about." And you start to see that, you know, each big character represents, you know, the like the heart, the mind, the body, and you just and like you have this like super macho dude who ends up dying at the end, and you have Chief Brody who is scared of the water, who has to overcome all that to save it, to like protect his family. I think it's a perfect movie. You know, I talk about like none of these movies are perfect, but gosh, Jaws is right up there, man. Like it is, it's just so good. It's such a great like masterclass in filmmaking too. We did it. We made it to the end. We made it from 10 to 1. I know not everyone's going to be thrilled with my picks, but guess what? They're my picks. I love them. It was a struggle. It was hard, but I'm glad it's out in the universe. It's there. Go check them out. Obviously, I'd recommend all of these to everyone, except for, you know, I mean, obviously don't show a kid Kill Bill or Almost Famous. But yeah, please go check it out and let us know what your favorites are. And thanks for having me. I'm just killing it. Like, fire Michael and Zach. We don't need them because I'm feeling a connection. I'm feeling a connection between me and you, me and you. So I think that's it. I think I'm done rambling, or am I? Who knows?